What is going on, YouTube? It's Dynasty Buffs coming at you solo today, bringing in Week 3 waiver wire top 10 fantasy defenses, and we're gonna go over some recap of Week 1, my waiver ads for short term, long term, and some streaming options this week. Look at some trades going on that have been sent to me. Go over the defenses, some defenses you can pick up rest of the year and this week, and follow up with a trade question. All right, let's get it.
It's showtime, folks. It's showtime.
All right, look at this injury report. So yesterday we just saw Nick Chubb, have that horrific injury to his knee. Feel bad for anybody that has Nick Chubb. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. We got JT still on IR, Cooper Kupp on IR. Taylor and Kupp should be coming off IR/PUP in the next couple of weeks. Keep an eye on that. Joe Burrow just came in on the injury designation of having a calf injury. Anthony Richardson has a concussion protocol. Barkley has that ankle injury, that sprained ankle. Devontae Adams is questionable. Jalen Waddle is also a concussion protocol. Christian Watson still dealing with a hammy. Eckler's questionable this week. Looks like he's supposed to play this week, but he might not. Aaron Jones says to play this week. Montgomery's dealing with a quad injury. Andrews is as well. OBJ with the ankle. Brandon Cooks with questionable as well. Chark and Jacoby Myers. Lots of injuries are coming up this week. It's not very good. Pretty bad. I saw this. I thought this was pretty funny. So, as you guys know, I'm in the Scott Fishbowl League, and one of the chats I'm in, I'm the pick 10 one, and I've seen a lot of guys pick Fields, Eckler, and like Chubb around that area. So this is one guy's team. He's not doing very well. He said he's 0-4. Pick Fields, Eckler, Henry, Pitts, Olave, Dobbins, and more. Man, it's pretty rough. I actually won my league, won my week again this week. So I'm squeaking by. I need Jonathan Taylor to come back in my Scott Fishbowl League. Hopefully I can get some more wins. Get some of those median wins as well to get me up to, I'm positive, but I want to be able to win out if I can. But getting JT back, having Kyron Williams as well should help me out a lot for the next at least 2 weeks. All right, let's get into this waiver wire. So I remember last week I said, to get Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Kyron, Zach Moss, and some others. So this week I'm going to do just waiver wire today, and then later this week I'll do my rankings and stuff. So as we saw yesterday, Nick Chubb and having an injury, and everybody's saying, "Oh, go blow all your fab on Jerome Ford." Maybe short term that might be a good idea. Long term, it looks like the Browns are looking to go get another running back, so that might not be a good option going forward. There's some other long term options that I'd rather have instead of Ford, but we'll get to that here. All right, so I did priority order this time, and I did a long term, short term, and streaming options for you guys. So Puka Nacua is still available in like 6 or 40% of leagues on Yahoo. He needs to be picked up, needs to be started. I mean, the kid has more receptions than Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, more receiving yards than some of the top guys. And he's the real deal right now until Cooper Kupp comes back. But I think he's filling in the Robert Woods role we had back in 2021. I think he's still going to get reps. Obviously, his target share is going to go down. Receptions should go down, but I mean, he still should be a solid wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 upside. But who knows if Kupp is, going to come off IR and be back. That hamstring injuries are always tricky. Kyron Williams looks like he's the RB1 and is getting the bulk of the carries and is a 3-down back, and the Los Angeles Rams. He's one of my guys to pick up last week. I have him in my Scott Fishbowl League. I picked up Kyron in a bunch of my other leagues. I started him in some, but I didn't start him in my Scott Fishbowl league because I had other options as well. I think he's a must start every week now. He's solid. He gets the carries, gets the receptions. Somebody that needs to be picked up off your waiver wire tonight. All right, Jerome Ford here. So Puka and Kyron, you guys go spend your fab on them first, or just pick them up. Waste that first one and go get them. Ford, I like Ford. All right. So for my dynasty guys, you know that Ford used to play on Alabama, was on Cincinnati. He was part of that Cincinnati team that went to the playoffs. He's okay, tested out fine. Prospect profile was about average. He looked good yesterday, but I don't know if he's the right answer. So once we get to the defenses, you're going to see how I'm feeling about Jerome Ford this week and going forward, looking at their schedules. One guy I liked as well, he was on my boom list, was Nico Collins. Since Stroud looks to be doing a lot better, he looks more comfortable in the offense. I think Nico can be his wide receiver one on the team. He's leading the team in targets and receptions, or targets, and he looks good, man. I'm a big Nico Collins fan. I met the guy. He's a great dude. Works hard. He's got that, Alpha X profile coming out of Michigan. Good player, good person, just good at football. Needs to be picked up. Definitely, you can start him in case you have some of these injuries, like Waddle's injured, Adams, et cetera, et cetera. Jaden Reed, another wide receiver I liked coming out of college. He went from Michigan State. Reed looks to be the wide receiver 2 on Green Bay Packers. I think when Christian Watson comes back, I think Reed will still get some targets and still get some of the touchdown work. But he's a solid pickup you can have long term in case those injuries happen. Then Zach Moss. All right. So we don't really know what's going to happen with Jonathan Taylor. So Zach Moss should be a short term and long term option to think about. Because short term, yeah, he's getting everything. He's getting everything. Touches, carries, receptions. He's getting everything. He's getting the full load. I mean, you can start him, right? He's startable. You can pick him up. You could even trade him. But who knows? Maybe Jonathan Taylor gets traded, and Zach Moss is the running back 1 on Indy the entire time. Zach Moss was another guy that I was saying that we should pick up. Especially my Discord. I kept getting asked the question, what do I do, Zach? Should I pick up Zach Moss? Yes. Matt Breida. All right. So Barkley had that injury, right? Had the ankle injury. Looks like he might be out for sure this week, I would imagine. I don't think they're going to let him play this week because why? Why would you let him get injured? Breida, I don't know, man. So right now the Giants are they're San Francisco, I think, is 10-point favorites. Who they're playing? Their Giants are plus 10. Daniel Jones is going to have to be airing out. To who? I don't know. Breida could be getting the receiving work as well, but I don't think Matt Breida is that exciting. Maybe if you need somebody, in case of those injuries, those running back injuries, maybe you miss out and you don't get Jerome Ford. All right, well, maybe you get Matt Breida. All right, we need to be talking about Jaylen Warren. So my Pittsburgh people, my Pittsburgh followers, you know that Jaylen Warren looks to be taking over. I said that Warren could be the Tony Pollard on Pittsburgh Steelers. Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott back, 2 years ago, last year. Pollard was a change of pace back, while Zeke was the power back, getting goal line work as well as short carries. Some of the receiving work, but man, Warren, he looks good, man. Somebody they should consider stashing and maybe even using the long term down the road. Maybe Najee gets hurt, and then he's the guy. It looks to be a nice pickup. He's in a lot of leagues, available on waivers. All right, so say you got some of those injuries as well, those wide receiver injuries, right? So say Adams is out, Waddle is out, maybe Watson you're still dealing with. Maybe you had to pick up OBJ, and OBJ just got injured, and maybe you had Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers got injured. Kendrick Bourne's another option you could pick up. Mac Jones seems to be liking him and using him, and he's been getting targets to the New England offense. Nice pickup. All right, and then we got some tight ends here. So Zach Ertz and Jake Ferguson. Ertz looks to be like a top 10 tight end. He looks to be Dobbs' safety net. They look pretty good actually last week. Could be a streaming option in case you're kind of tired with your tight end. You want to mix it up, maybe just not planning out right. Maybe you got to shoot for the upside. Pick up Zach Ertz. Jake Ferguson's another option, another streaming option you could pick up. It seems like Dak Prescott always loves his tight ends, so totally worth picking up there. Guess you guys can't see these, so let me hide my face here. There. That way you can see. All right. Yeah. So Ferguson and Ertz pick up for streaming options. All right. Say Joe Burrow doesn't play this week, right? And all your waivers are empty on the quarterback position. This one's tricky, right? So Matt Stafford, he plays on Monday. Bryce Young looked pretty good. He looked pretty good on Monday Night Football. He looked pretty solid. His receivers do suck, but he was making the right throws, making the right reads, and he's running too, right? He's got some wheels. I don't think he's a statue. I think he's actually more athletic than people give him credit for. He could be an option in case Joe Burrow doesn't play and you need an option, because maybe Anthony Richardson's gone off waivers as well, or maybe you have him and he's injured. You might have to pick up Bryce Young or Matt Stafford and start them this week. Obviously, some of the other guys they're already gone, right? So like Jordan Love's picked up. All the other like Brock Purdy's also picked up. I don't know. My waivers are pretty dry right now. Besides these guys, so I don't really have other options for quarterbacks because I don't see them on waivers. All right, let's go to next one here. All right, and last guy, Puka. So I've been getting a lot of questions about Puka. You can call him Puka Chew. You can call him Puka the real deal Nakua. All right, so we know what he is now, right? I mean, I think Puka's the real deal. He did solid against the 49ers, even week 1. I was saying he wins in zone, right? He wins in zone. We see the chart, right? Wide receivers in zone coverage, very successful. He's like Travis Kelce. He reminds me a lot of Travis Kelce. He just gets open. He finds the soft coverage and he gets the targets. He wins. When Kupp gets back, I still think he's going to win. He's kind of the exact opposite of Cooper Kupp. They could play opposite routes, and maybe Tutu Atwell turns out not to be the nice option to go with. So if Puka's available, go pick him up. Some dynasty trades that I've seen about him are just crazy. I just traded him in one of my home leagues the other day for. I mean, you could say I got robbed. That's fine, but I did Puka and a second, I think somebody else, for Josh Jacobs and Sean Tucker. I needed a running back bad. Like I lost Dobbins, I lost JT, I have Breece Hall, and Raheem Mostert. They're just not cutting it. But this is crazy. This is nuts. Puka for Mingo of first this year and next year? Bro, what are we doing? That's insane. That's like almost 3 firsts potentially. All right, let's talk about defenses here. So top defenses in the NFL according to yours truly, right? And looking at some of the online stuff and some of the websites that I've seen. All right, so Dallas is number 1. They're basically the Chicago Bears back in the day. Then we got the 49ers, Jets, Patriots, the Browns, Ravens, Buffalo Bills, Eagles, New Orleans Saints, and Commanders. Commanders might actually still be on waivers as well. Keep your eyes open for them and see if you can pick them up. Majority of these 1 through 9 are not available, right? But if you guys are going against these teams this week, watch out. It's tough. So here's your top 10 defense options for week 3. All right, so most of these are gone. You could pick up Tennessee. I've seen Tennessee be available this week. Definitely worth a try. Kansas City, Baltimore Ravens are also some solid pickups this week. I still see the Browns a lot, right? Browns were on my pick last week to pick up, and then you can actually keep them, for the whole year. I think they score like 8 points, maybe. So I'll take that. And then let's talk about top 5 run defenses. So if we pick up Jerome Ford, right? Say we blow all our fab on Jerome Ford this week. That Titans defense is legit. That run defense is legit. They're number 1 right now. 130 rushing yards allowed. 2 games. Man, that's pretty low. Maybe consider not blowing all your entire fab on Jerome Ford if you just need him for a short term. Do you need him for the long term? Just know this week is going to be rough if you have to start him. Expect maybe 4 to 5 points. Maybe he's got goal line upside, but Deshaun Watson really has to step up this week and really show and dominate against the Tennessee Titans, right? So the number 1 and 2 run defenses are going to be playing the same day. And, even if you pick up the Browns, just know that Derrick Henry is legit. But, the Browns could also be well in pass protection and force Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball. Cleveland's a solid pickup this week as well. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, 108 rushing yards and 3.3 yards per carry. Who's there playing Tampa Bay this week? Watch out. Philadelphia Eagles, another one tough one, and then the Ravens. So if you guys have, like offenses that are bad in passing and maybe their strong suits run defense, consider picking these guys up too if you can. So pick up maybe the Buccaneers if you need a streaming option this week. All right. And pass defenses. All right. So we got Dallas and Cleveland, New Orleans, Carolina, and Atlanta. Cleveland, man, they're pretty solid. And, Cowboys are the best there is right now. And then the Saints, they've been looking pretty nice, pretty solid. Good completion or low completion rates. Good sacks. Carolina's been impressive too, actually, with the amount of sacks that they've been getting. Falcons are always good to get. Some of the worst run defenses to go against. Pittsburgh Steelers. And guess who played the Steelers last night? The Browns. So, worst run defense, and Jerome Ford showed out. I don't know about that one. All right, we got Cincinnati Bengals being second worst, and Minnesota Vikings, Dolphins, and New York Giants. All right, so I know the Giants are playing on Thursday this week, and I believe they're playing the Niners. So, if whoever's got Christian McCaffrey this week, congrats. You probably just won your week. Let's see. Dolphins, I know they're playing the Broncos. Maybe it's Javonte Williams week. Minnesota is playing. They're playing the Chargers. And maybe Eckler comes back. Maybe Joshua Kelly is also viable this week, just in case Eckler's out. So these are worst run defenses this so far in the year. Maybe pick up the guys that are going against them maybe on waivers if you need them as well. So yeah, maybe Kyren Williams has another nice week this week against the Rams on Monday. Maybe you blow your flab on Kyren Williams. It looks like Cam Akers might actually get traded. Kyren needs to be picked up. Use him. Going against one of the worst defenses, run defenses this week. All right, passing defenses, Eagles. I know it might be surprising, but losing the linebackers and the cornerbacks, the cornerback has really hurt them. Losing their captain, Nakobe Dean, has really hurt them a lot, man. 326 passing yards per game allowed, 701 touchdown interception ratio, 67 completion rate. That's high, and then 6.9 yards per attempt. Eagles, Chargers, Seattle Seahawks, Indianapolis Colts, and Chicago Bears. Bad. I know the Bears are playing the Chiefs this week, man. Mahomes might just go off for a ton this week. Who knows what happens with the Colts this week? I don't know if Richardson plays, but I know Lamar's playing the Colts this week. And the Seattle Seahawks are playing the Panthers. All right. So here's why I suggest maybe considering picking up Bryce Young if you have Joe Burrow. He's been playing the Seahawks, and they've allowed 329 passing yards, 3 TDs, and 1 interception, a 71.2 completion rate. Look at that. Bryce Young might have a boom week based on this matchup. He should look good. You can check with Vegas as well. But if Joe Burrow is injured and that calf strain lingers maybe this week and next, might be somebody you might have to pick up for Sunday. Considering, Burrow doesn't play until Monday. That's something to monitor and watch. All right, and that's it for our trade stuff, waivers. Feel free to ask any questions if anybody's watching. All right, trade question was sent to me. This is a full PPR Superflex redraft. I don't know how many start, but I guess we'll just do based on value alone. All right, so Jacobs, Williams, Kittle, Bryce Young for Bijan, Prescott, Tank Dell. All right, so since it's Superflex and full PPR, I mean, Dak hasn't been doing too great. Jacobs hasn't been doing very well. Kittle, it's kind of just a bunch of question marks for me at the top, except Kyren. So I'm going to go with Bijan and Dak Prescott. Get the most valuable player in fantasy if you can. Every time you do a redraft trade. Right. Maybe if this was tied in premium, and maybe you could go with, maybe it's like 2 point, then maybe you go with Kittle. But I'll go with Bijan and Dak Prescott. As much as I like Jacobs, Kyren, and Bryce Young, I'll go with the 2 best players. Okay, and that concludes our week 3 waiver wire. Thanks for tuning in, anybody that's watching. Appreciate it. Feel free to find me on Twitter. I'm H Dynasty Buffs on Twitter. Shoot me a follow. And on YouTube, drop a like, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing my rankings this week. And, join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. Appreciate it for joining in. And peace out. I'm out.